Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday morning to you. My name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma. And this is what I call my morning musings. Don't forget, want to remind you of the Preterist Pilgrim Weekend coming up July 14th through the 16th right here in Ardmore, Oklahoma. You can go to BibleProphecy.com and register there. We got some really exciting things in the works. We're going to try to get them confirmed over the next few days. We've already got a great lineup of speakers. Our theme is the problem with amillennialism. Every one of the speakers was raised in, believed, and defended the amillennial view of eschatology, but through their own independent study, came to realize that it is not the biblical view. They're going to be sharing with us their journey to the full preterist, the true preterist view, known as covenant eschatology. Well, we're looking at and investigating the nature of the kingdom of God. The Old Covenant predicted the establishment of the everlasting kingdom of God. Did the Old Testament predict, does the New Testament predict that it is to be a physical kingdom in which Jesus will one day come out of heaven in a physical body of a 5'5" Jewish man, as I want to say, and rule over the physical earth that has been restored to its Edenic, pristine, physical beauty? I don't think that is at all what the Bible teaches. And we are using Ezekiel 37 as the basis for an investigation. Now, look, Ezekiel 37 is just so incredibly rich. And I'm not going to take the time to explore every single element that is to be found in there. But I've promised you that I'm going to be focusing on 2 Corinthians chapters 3 through 7, because Paul comments. Paul, as a trained rabbi, gives us his inspired midrash, his commentary on Ezekiel. I want to offer one more thought that is not in 2 Corinthians chapter 3 through 7, but which is most assuredly found in the New Testament and which plays a prominent role in our understanding of the nature of the kingdom. In Ezekiel 37, I want you to notice verse 24. David my servant shall be king over them, and they shall all have one shepherd. They also shall walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. So here we have the promise that in the days of the, quote, regathering of Israel, in the days of the kingdom, and yes, it says they'll be regathered to the land. And this great shepherd would lead them to this habitation. This is not new language. Isaiah had foretold well before this in Isaiah chapter 49. This is where we will get into 2 Corinthians chapters 3 through 7. But Isaiah 49 had predicted that in the day of Israel's salvation, in the day of the restoration of the land, there would be no more tears, there would be no more sorrow, and God's people would feast on high places. There would be a highway of righteousness and holiness, and the great shepherd would lead them to green pastures. Get any idea of Psalms 23 here? Okay, so we have this motif of the great shepherd who would lead them and guide them in the kingdom. Need we reflect that Jesus said, I am the good shepherd? Here are all of these Old Covenant prophecies of Messiah coming, of being the great shepherd. And Jesus comes and he tells his audience, he tells those who are gathered around them, I'm the good shepherd. Okay, what was Jesus trying to do as the good shepherd? Was he trying to lead the physically dispersed Israel back to a physical land? Not hardly. There's not a syllable of biblical evidence. Not one word from Jesus. Now, here's Jesus saying that he's the good shepherd. We have Jesus in John chapter 11, 50 and following saying that he came to gather together the children of Israel that were scattered abroad. He's the good shepherd. And thus the question absolutely must be answered. What was the nature of the gathering? What was the nature of the flock? And thus what was the nature of the kingdom that Jesus, as the good shepherd, would lead them to? Now watch this. In 1 Peter chapter 5, Peter says, "The elders who are among you I exhort, who am also an elder and a witness of the sufferings of Christ, and also partaker," now watch this, "of the glory that is about to be revealed. Shepherd the flock of God, which is among you, serving as overseers, not by compulsion, but willingly, not for compensation or gain, but eagerly, not as lords over those entrusted to you, but being examples to the flock. And when the chief shepherd appears, you will receive the crown of glory that does not fade away." Here is Peter saying that Christ, who is the good shepherd, and he is the great shepherd, and Peter says that glory that would come at the arrival of the great shepherd was about to be revealed. We go back to chapter 4, verse 5. Jesus, the great shepherd, was ready to judge the living and the dead. Verse 7, the end of all things has drawn near. Verse 17, the time has come. It's literally the appointed time has come for the judgment. Literally, the judgment has come for the judgment to begin at the house of God. So here is Peter affirming in the most emphatic, in the most explicit ways that the appearing of the great shepherd was about to happen. It was at hand. It had drawn near. The time had come for that. Now, we are told that the physical kingdom, pardon me, supposedly arrives at the coming of the Lord. Well, Peter said that coming of the Lord was coming very soon. Did it come? Of course it did. Peter did not lie. What event was he talking about? Very clearly, the time of judgment, the appointed time of judgment that had arrived. That was AD 70. Okay? Did the physical, earthly kingdom of the great shepherd come in AD 70? I don't have to tell you it didn't. Since the appearing of the great shepherd was to be in fulfillment of Ezekiel 37, pardon me, and Ezekiel 37 would be for the great shepherd to rule over, quote, Israel in the land, in the kingdom. And since Jesus came in AD 70, but there was no geopolitical establishment of a physical kingdom, that falsifies any concept of an earthly, physical kingdom over which Christ is to rule. You see, folks, Jesus, as the Good Shepherd, emphatically tells us he didn't come to establish a physical kingdom. And the fact that his coming was imminent as the Good Shepherd proves the nature of the kingdom. Because he did come in judgment, he did come in the kingdom. But the kingdom did not come with observation. I hope you go to my websites and take advantage of the hundreds and hundreds of articles that are there that address this issue and a whole lot more. And folks, we've got a whole lot more on the nature of the kingdom. And yes, we're going to 2 Corinthians chapters 3 through 6, okay? I promise. And we'll see you on the flip side.